your home, the biggest investment you'll make. Hi, I'm Tracy Pierce from the Tracy Pierce Insurance Group.
And I'm Sierra Roper with the Tracy Pierce Insurance Group.
And over the next 6 minutes, we're going to talk about the key elements of a homeowner's policy. Let's get started. Understanding your homeowner's policy. There are six important parts to a homeowner's policy that you want to make sure you're aware of. Number one, coverage A, dwelling. Number two, coverage B, other structures. Number three, coverage C, personal property. Number four, coverage D, loss of use. Number five, coverage E, which is personal liability. And finally, coverage F, which is medical payments to others. Right? So we're going to talk about each one of those sections one by one. So let's do it. All right, number one, dwelling. What is dwelling? Dwelling is the actual protection of your home. We're talking your home like your walls, your floor, your ceiling, etc. You want to make sure on your policy that you have the right amount of dwelling coverage to make sure your home will be taken care of if something were to happen. So, coverage A, dwelling. And there's two types. There's actual cash value for your home, and then there is replacement cost for your home. What's the difference? Well, actual cash value means the insurance company will pay what your home costs minus depreciation. So if you had a $400,000 home, right? And you bought it 10 years ago, there's obviously some depreciation. So actual cash value will not work in your favor. Or there's replacement costs. And basically what this means is it's going to take care of you. It's going to cover you. It's going to take in consideration things like material going up in cost over the 10-year period. It'll take in consideration that there'll be heavy equipment used to put your house back in the same spot. And if they're using heavy equipment, then that means they're probably going to tear up your neighbor's yard, and they'll bring that back up to your neighbor's standard. That's why it's so important to know whether or not you have actual cash value or replacement cost on your dwelling. Coverage A. All right, coverage B. Coverage B is your other structure, things that are detached from your home but still a part of your property, like a detached garage or a storage shed. Or how about that fence you have in your yard that you just named? Yeah, that's the coverage B, other structures. So you want to make sure that you're tight on that as well. Coverage C. Coverage C is personal property. The best way to explain this coverage is if you can take your house and spin it around, anything that falls out of your house is personal property. Your refrigerator, your microwave, your stove, and of course jewelry and gun collections and things of that nature. Now, here's something to know. If you have some very expensive jewelry or a really nice gun collection, keep in mind that a standard policy will cover your personal property up to a limit. So you might want to look at an endorsement on that policy for coverage C. All right, are we tracking that so far? All right, and coverage D, Sierra, will take it from here.
All right, so coverage D is coverage for loss of use. For an example, let's say your kitchen catches fire and you have to stay elsewhere while your home is being repaired. Loss of use will cover shelter and food for you, so the cost of hotel and food for you and your family until your home is livable again. The next coverage is coverage E, personal liability. That covers legal expenses for you. But for an example, let's say someone is injured in your home and tries to sue you and hold you liable. You have that liability coverage to cover any legal expenses. Coverage F is coverage for medical payments. So if someone is injured in your home, for an example, let's say they need to get stitches or maybe they fall and break their arm and have to go to the ER, their ER bills are covered up to the limit that is shown on your declarations page. All right, and then there are two types of policies that you can have. You can have a named peril or an all peril policy. A named peril is going to specifically list what is covered in your home policy. An all peril policy is going to actually list what is not covered. So keep that in mind as you are looking through your home policy. This is what your declarations page will usually look like. You'll have your information, your coverages next to the limit. So for an example, if the replacement cost is $494,000, that's what your dwelling would be insured up to. And each coverage usually is a percentage of that. Other structures is usually at around 10% of your dwelling coverage. Personal property is usually around $80,000. These are adjustable. If you need more coverage to cover everything you own, we can definitely increase those for you. Your deductibles will also be listed on your declarations page. Most people are carrying either a 1% or 2% deductible. I always recommend 1%. That 1% stands for 1% of your coverage A dwelling coverage. So if your home is insured up to $494,000, 1% of that's going to be $4,940. That would be your deductible. That would be your out of pocket if your home were damaged and you needed to file a claim. You'll take care of that first $49.40, and then your insurance will take care of the rest up to the limit that's shown on your declarations page. It'll also list any other coverages that may be included with your policy. And here's Tracy.
Awesome job. Awesome jobs here. So just to wrap up what we talked about the 6 major coverages that you need to look for in your home. There's a few things that stood out to me. Sierra said, 1, what is that percentage on your all peril deductible? Is it 1%? Is it 2%? You really want to pay attention to that because it can make all the difference in the world. In Texas, where there's hailstorms and windstorms, and your roof has to be replaced or repaired. Okay, so you want to take a look at that. And also open and name peril. Open peril. That means that it will cover everything that's not listed on your policy, whereas named peril will only cover things that are on your policy. I don't know about you, but I'd rather have the open because I like to know what's not covered so I can be prepared for it. So just a real quick rundown of your policy. Great job, Sierra. That wraps it up for us, and we really appreciate you taking a little time to check us out. Hey, by the way, we do insurance reviews. We have no challenge with them. So if you have a policy and you just want to know whether or not your policy is a good policy, then all you have to do is give us a call at 817-532-5111, and we will do a review on your homeowner's policy. Don't have to buy a thing. Won't cost you a thing. We'll just look at your policy for you. Too easy. Thank you so much.